We are live. It is a 7 o'clock show here. The New Year's Eve 2015 7 o'clock show. And welcome back, everybody. It's been a crazy day. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I am a little bit under the weather today. So, cut me some slack here, if you know what they say. But I am live, though. And I will tell you this. As I'm watching the coverage from New York City, there's a couple things I want to get into. A couple things I want to discuss tonight. And those things that I want to discuss include the fact that this year we lost a lot of great people. And one of those people was professional wrestler Roddy Piper. And it came as a shock. I'll never forget the night I found out he died back in the summertime. That Roddy Piper died, and it's something you got to mention here. It's something that's worthy of mentioning. And a couple of weeks prior, we lost the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, suddenly. So two wrestling big stars passing away in a short period of time. That would have to be considered. I don't want to call it the highlight, but I want to call it the time of 2015 that stood out, because we lost two great entertainers, and some say, professional wrestlers, but at the end of the day, two great entertainers, two great talents we lost in 2015. And, I don't know if you have a lot of people in your personal lives that you might have lost, or if you knew anybody personally that passed away in 2015, but I will say that it's very important to take the time to remember every single person that died in 2015. They will not see tonight's bull drop, and we have to remember them. And, it's one of those things that, it's the more serious topic that we have to discuss. But every year, we get a list of people that nobody thought would die in that year. A lot of surprises. And, of course, not happy surprises, but negative surprises. And, it's one of those things where, honestly, bottom line is that it's just tremendously shocking. It's tremendously sad. And, the bottom line is this, folks. The bottom line is this. We need to learn to enjoy life to the fullest, okay? Forgive me here, I'm looking down, but most guys who do radio on television or radio on video, they will look down from time to time, if you notice, I watch television shows, and even guys on regular TV are looking down. Well, of course, I just want to make sure that everybody's informed here that we're live. I just put the word out officially that we are live right now, and, I just want to make sure everybody knows, because we're having a problem here when I advertise the show's going live. And what happens is people aren't getting the message that we're live right now. So, it's New Year's Eve. It's the 7 o'clock hour, as I promised. On this New Year's Eve, we would do this broadcast. Now, I'll tell you what, we're advertised to go to 7:30 tonight, but I will tell you that, there is a chance we ended a little earlier than 7:30, but I want to get to a lot of things tonight. I have topics I want to discuss, and, one of those topics is this summer, I did not go to the Jersey Shore like I used to. As years progress, you find yourself doing things that you used to do no longer. You see what I'm saying? You find yourself doing it no longer. You say to yourself, wow, you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. As we get older, I find, for me personally, as I get older, that I'm no longer doing the things that I used to do. And honestly, it's kind of surprising that I'm no longer doing these things. But on the flip side, the bottom line is, I guess times have changed. Times have changed. You know, and the other thing is, as you are tuned to the Grizz Show, continuing coverage here on New Year's Eve 2015, talking about the things that stood out in 2015. But like I said, now we go to 2016. And this is where things start to get a little interesting. And honestly, it starts to get a lot interesting as we go to 2016. In less than 5 hours, the ball will drop, and we'll be there. We'll be in 2016. One of my personal things was that I said, I have to get to 2016 because you know what? It's going to be good. Now, tonight, I told you, I teased this. I promised you that I would mention this tonight. I promised that I would tell you where I would rather be tonight. The answer to that question, because I brought this up, the answer to the question of where I'd rather be tonight is I'd rather be in Orlando, Florida, in a room, looking at Cinderella's castle. And you say to yourself, in a room looking at Cinderella's castle? Well, yeah, because I'd rather have that perfect New Year's Eve. And to be honest with you, I thought everything was going to get to the finish line as far as what's going on. I thought I would cross the finish line. I thought it would be a great way to end 2015. Well, surprise. 2015 ain't ending like that. So, with that being said, now you know where I want it to be tonight. Now I bring in the prop that I've been waiting to put on. There it is. It is my New Year's Eve party. It's the Beer Man here doing a New Year's Eve party that I did not plan on doing. A different version of the one that I really had my mind set on earlier on. Yes, indeedy. I had my mind set on a much bigger, higher scale, like I said, Orlando, Florida, for New Year's Eve. Well, guess what? We're still in Pennsylvania. Here it is, my 2016 prop, as promised. So, yes, indeedy, we are going to do it. You know what? I'm not in Times Square like I have been for many, many, many years past. So, and I believe somebody's setting off fireworks around my neighborhood here. Sure sounds like fireworks. Yep, somebody's setting fireworks off at 7 o'clock at night on New Year's Eve. Honestly, dude, you've got 5 hours. Why are you setting fireworks off at 7 o'clock at night? Anyhow, it is the Beer Man, the Grizz Show. I screwed up already. See that? Out with the Beer Man, in with the Grizz Show. It is the Grizz presents New Year's Eve. There we go. The Grizz is here. He's celebrating with you. So once again, bang, we're here, baby. This is the New Year's Eve party. As we count it down, like I said, it's not the New Year's Eve party I envisioned it to be. But sometimes, when you have visions, it doesn't always go the way you thought it would go. So, we'll improvise. We'll get it done. It's 8 o'clock almost on the East Coast. I know, I say 8 o'clock, but it's really not that close to 8 o'clock. But the bottom line is, you know what I'm saying, okay? Okay. Now, it's funny because we advertise this show, and I'm kind of wondering, where's everybody at? Well, they said, oh, yeah, we're going to be here at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Well, guess what? Everybody's out getting drunk. That's great for you guys. Me, well, let's see. I'm under the weather. I just ate greasy food for dinner, so I can't pound them down. I did have a root beer earlier. If you watched the video previously, you would see. And tonight's show is where the numbers come back and I find out what 2016 truly will bring. Because there's going to be a decision reached, and it will be a final decision in 2016. But guess what? Let's start off. Let's clean the slate up. It's 2016. We're hours away, and let's begin anew, okay? So it's a brand new start. The Grizz Show is live right now with you, and like I could see, we got a few people hanging out here. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for coming, guys. But you know what? The live audience, once again, does not come out with big numbers. So, I hope the archive audience really does tune in. I really do, because, it shows people supports what you're doing. I think a lot of people are at the bars. Maybe they'll come back and check out this New Year's Eve show. But hey, it's not like I'm live in Times Square. I'm not really giving you anything too fancy. Like I said, this is not what I wanted to do tonight, but this is what destiny was meant for me. So it is what it is. I'm here. I'm doing it. Talking about 2015. And it was a year where I got to do some awesome things. I got to go to Disney World for the first time on Halloween. So, there's an experience. So there's one thing off my bucket list. I kept telling people at my old job that I would eventually be going to Orlando. Well, guess what? I went to Orlando on vacation, not to stay. So there you go. I just went there on vacation, and you never know what your plans have in store for you. You know what? Destiny will always overrule your plans. But, hey, look, bottom line is this. I want to wish you all a happy new year. Hopefully a lot of you people will check this show out. And like I said, the bottom line is, rest in peace, Dusty. Rest in peace, Roddy Piper. Rest in peace to everybody else who died this year. A lot of surprising deaths in 2015. What does 2016 have in store for us? Well, I will tell you this much. What it has in store for me is the Grizz show. But you know what? We're not launching it until the equipment gets better and until I can give you guys a top-notch show. So, with that being said, it will be a very different experience when we finally launch in our brand new setup and brand new equipment and able to give you the type of show that I feel we should broadcast. But hey, you know what? Tonight proved something to me that, sometimes you got to come on the air here on the internet, and, you come on the internet and you go live and you say, let's see what the numbers bring. People want to test me sometimes too, though. They want to say, oh, well, let me see. He says 7 o'clock. I'm going to show up till 7:30 and see if he's still hanging with it. So, with that being said, we'll hang with it. Exactly. There's plenty of things to talk about. A topic that I personally love. This is a topic I thought long and hard about. Do you ever take a vacation? And before you go on vacation, you have all these big plans, You have it all mapped out, and you say to yourself, you're like, hey, Grizz, you're like, I got all these monster plans and the things I want to achieve on this vacation. So then you go on a vacation, and here's day one. Day one, you start off your vacation, and next thing you know, you're eating dinner, and after dinner, you don't feel that good. So you took your plans, you turned them, curved them around, and threw a curveball up there. So your whole vacation began with a different start than you planned on because you got sick. My point being is, when you go on vacation, especially the vacations I take, and everybody knows that I go to Florida and Disney World. So when I go to Disney World, yeah, I know, I don't say it properly, but hey, you know what? I say it the way I want to say it because I'm the Grizz, damn it. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I do things. And that's that, I'm not on the network here, and I'm not live in Times Square interviewing, these people out there, and these people all got issues because, none of them go to the bathroom. I've been there before, freezing my ass off, no booze, no bathrooms. I've done it many times. I started in 2003. It was the first time I did it. But getting back on this vacation talk here, what I'm trying to say to you guys is that when you plan your vacation, and then you get down there, and at the end of the vacation, you're like, oh, damn, I got no more time. And you ride by on the bus at a place that you wanted to go have a couple drinks, and you say to yourself, you know what? The script I wrote for this vacation was totally turned sideways. That happens. That really does happen. So then you come home, and you travel all the way back home, and you crave another vacation. And see, what happens is the people who run these companies are making big dollars off us. They're making big bucks. They're just filling their pockets because we keep coming back and back and back because you're craving something. It's like a bad drug. It's like an alcoholic. They crave the booze. They crave the drug. But you're craving that vacation. You constantly want to go back and back and back and keep on going back. And what you find yourself doing is you rack up the bills. Over time, you find out you spend thousands and thousands of dollars to take these vacations, and you come home and you go, man, I can't wait to go back to do this, this, and this. And then the next time you go, you're like, oh, man, I forgot this again. Or like you did stuff that you wanted to do and then you forgot other things. Also, you find out that, when you go on a budget vacation, like I did in October of this year, I went on a budget vacation. You find yourself saying, oh, I can't afford this because your budget was already used up on other things. Yeah, that happens, folks. That does happen. I mean, you will have that happen to you from time to time. You go on vacation and you don't budget properly, or you don't, and the next thing you know, you're spending thousands of dollars on the other things to get you back to that location. Like with me, I don't fly. I don't fly at all. So, what my big deal is, if I don't fly, then what the heck am I going to do, What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take on this Amtrak train for 20 hours and get a bedroom and things like that. But, that's what happens. Hey, look, 2015 was a year I learned a lot. I did learn a lot. Number one, never, ever take anybody's word for granted. That's number one. See, that's the first thing is in 2015 I learned is never take anybody for granted. In 2016, I'm going to go out there and just say, you know what? I'll see it when I believe it. Or I'll believe it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those deals. Look, me and Reverend Bob Levy had a great deal set up to do something, and it never happened. Sometimes, you set up things, and it just never happens. Look, nobody knows what the future holds. Nobody knows what fate got in store for you. Sometimes you can get lucky, and sometimes you can get really rotten things, You get rotten apples. Bottom line is, though, like I said, we're getting ready to launch 2016, and this is a year where we start to build the foundation up. 2016 is the year where you build from the bottom up. You take everything you learned and you build it all the way to the top to make an empire. Glenn Beck told a story recently of how he was struggling, and the next thing you know, Glenn Beck's a multimillionaire. So, everybody's got to play this game. Like, one guy who told me he's going to be here tonight, who I don't see, Mike Digital, he told me, Glenn Beck's an idiot, Glenn Beck's this. Well, look, me and Mike Digital go way back, and Mike Digital obviously don't enjoy the internet show because he told me he'd be here, and Mike Digital's nowhere to be found. So, he's not even on Facebook now. He told me earlier he couldn't get into the show, and now he's just vanished. So, sometimes, people tell you things. I'm sure he'll check out the archive or something, but bottom line is this. You know what? Like I said, you got to go on. You got to do your thing. And that's that. Like this is New Year's Eve, and things could be a lot worse. Let me tell you that flat out. Things could be a lot worse on New Year's Eve 2016. We're going into 2016. And next year could be a lot worse. When I see through these glasses, you don't even want to know because, some people say it's rigged, you know what I'm saying? But bottom line is that I could see the future not being as good to us as the current day is. So, bottom line is, look, when you wear glasses like I do, and then you put on these glasses, it kind of makes it difficult to see. So I'm going to strain my eyes a little bit here. But you know what? I'm going to be turning 40 years old on New Year's, on New Year's Day. In the new year, I'll be turning 40 years old. And I look at Twitter and I see pictures are out like at different events having a good time. I'm sitting here doing this show, and you know what? I'll sit down and watch ABC and CNN tonight. And I'll have more drinks. Believe me, I'll have more drinks. And maybe I'll pop back onto a video somewhere. But let me tell you my lesson learned in 2015. I'll tell you my lesson. Like I said, don't ever trust anybody until you have proof in the pudding. When you trust people and believe in people and rely on people, what happens to you is you wind up falling on your face and you got a lot of eggshell to clean up off it. Look, I'm the Grizz. And I'm going to be okay because 2016 is my year. I was born in 76, so like I said, I'll be 40 in 16. I got the right attitude here. Nothing will stop me. I put this out there. Hey, I don't know how many people are going to check this out. But you know what? I put it out there for them to see it. If they see it, great. If they don't see it, then I know something. You know what I know? I know is that I need to start back, like I said, go back and rebuild the foundation. Go back to the drawing board and start all over again. That's what you learn. You learn that, hey, you know what? I got to start all over again. If it's not working, you got to tear it down. Like they say, tear down these walls. Like they've said throughout history, tear down these walls. Well, you know what? Yeah, you got to tear the walls down. If it's not working, you rebuild it from scratch. And if something doesn't work, you rebuild it. Now, this year, I promised numerous times, oh, we're going to launch this show. Oh, we're going to launch that show. But guess what? New Year's Eve, 7 p.m., I was here. New Year's Eve, 3 p.m., I was here. But Mike said he couldn't get in. So what are you going to do? He couldn't get in. He couldn't get in. I don't know who's out there listening right now. Like I said, It is what it is. There's nobody in the chat room, so, we'll just make sure that 100%. Nah, there's nobody there. But times are different, and it's a competitive world. And the bottom line is, we learn, we live, and, that's that. So, just gotta do something real quick here to fix this. This equipment sucks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, this equipment sucks. But, hey, what can I tell you? Bottom line is, like I said, you build something, you tear it down. 2015, some people would say, you know what, dude, you haven't been a nice guy. You haven't been a nice guy. So it is what it is. And that will be that, So sometimes you gotta learn, you live, you learn, you gotta just deal with it, you know what I'm saying? That's just that. So people ain't gonna come out and support you when you call them pricks, like it's the way it is. People ain't gonna support you when you call them a prick. Yeah, everybody took it personal that they're all being called pricks. Okay, great, good for you. So anyway, you know what, like I said, we're gonna live and learn from this. We'll see where the numbers come back. And then, we'll either go away and that's it. 2016, we'll tear it down and we'll never rebuild it again like that. And we'll build it a different direction, like maybe make money in another capacity. Like I said, it is what it is. It's New Year's Eve. Why would anybody want to come here and watch me when you can watch all kinds of different things on the network? There's college football playoff games. I can understand it, I guess. I can understand it. But, bottom line is, I learned my lesson tonight. That nobody's got my back in the main event. You know what I'm saying? I need to be the guy that, hulks out and kicks ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got a tag team partner in my corner for me. But you know what? The stronger you are, nothing will get to you. You know what I mean? You shake it off and you say, you know what? You remember the greatest moments of 2015. And those greatest moments will not be talked about on this broadcast because I don't have to talk about them. I lived them. I was a happy camper during them. And you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. I will say this much. Being on the scoreboard at the Phillies home opener in the Easter Bunny suit was pretty awesome. And it felt good, honestly. And I don't give a rat's what anybody thinks. Just like I watched this show on the if you don't like it, too damn bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're listening to this and you say to yourself, dude, now, let me tell you something. You might all have your opinion about that Easter Bunny costume, but me personally, I was damn proud that I pulled it off, and I was happy with the end results of it. Yeah, I'm trying to get famous. There's no doubt about it. I'm a some, and nobody wanted to be a somebody. There's no doubt about that. And when I look at my numbers, I know that proves something to me. But hey, tomorrow, you're all going to be hungover. You'll probably be sitting there watching this shit, watching me babble on. And if you do, more power to you. You know what? Then you prove me wrong, okay? But right now, when I need you live, you're not here. But on the archive, you might be there. And hey, if you're listening and you hung this long, good for you. I give you credit. You know what? You proved to me. But right now, the proof in the pudding, I'm going to have to cut this thing off because you know what? I got a New Year's Eve to celebrate. Every other time I was in New York City, I remember one New Year's Eve, me and Scott Mattisol did a show for hours. But hey, at the end of the day, Happy New Year. I'm out of here like Vladimir. I'm not coming back again tonight. Anything I do will be over on Facebook page. If you can find it, you'll see it. If not, this has been the Beer Man. No longer the Grizz Show, New Year's Eve. Hey, Happy New Year, healthy New Year to you. Hopefully you'll be a success story in 2016 because I damn in hell know I'll be a success story. I'll see you in 2016.